Hey, Job here. On this channel, you already know it, I invest 100% of my income and live out of my Robinhood brokerage account. I also have the aggressive goal to retire by 40 years old. Today, you get to see that in practice and see exactly how I invest my full 2.38K weekly paycheck and live out of my brokerage account as I pay bills from it with margin against those growing assets. Step by step, you'll see how I build monthly cash flow that'll eventually exceed my monthly expenses and replace my full salary. I'm truly paying myself first in the very real sense of the word. And as always, you'll get radical transparency on my channel. I share my real numbers, and you see exactly how much skin I have in the game with any given position, nothing hidden. You can follow along my portfolio by checking the free Snowball portfolio link in the description below. And if you appreciate the transparency, make sure to give a like and subscribe. As usual, just a quick disclaimer, this video is for entertainment and education purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here should be taken as financial, investment, or tax advice. And I'm simply sharing my personal investing journey and documenting my own results. Make sure you read the full disclaimer here. As far as the recap of the strategy, I won't go over it today as usual, just because, yeah, you can see it here and pause it. And really, we're just going to be going through this flowchart in practice, so you can kind of just see this for yourself as you watch the video, right? So let's just dive right in. So if we pop over to Robinhood, we see that it's a surprisingly nice green day today, just because, yeah, there was more missiles being lobbed at Iran from the US overnight. I thought the market would be red today, but then there was rumors yet again of potentially a deal coming through, and the markets has kind of flipped green from that. So you can kind of see the red a little bit we got from that, and then it's kind of just flipped green. Still skeptical of that. I feel like we've been doing this song and dance for the last few weeks now. So yeah, I was hoping to buy on a little red day today, but yeah, it doesn't always work out that way. And that's why too, like as far as a system, I just DCA whether the market's green or red. And today just happens to be green. So not as excited as if it was red, but you know. So yeah, first things first, we'll transfer over my full weekly paycheck. So you can see here in the cash account, it got deposited. So $2,386.02. We're going to invest every penny here. So let's just get that over. So we'll just do deposit funds and then 238,602 from the cash account to individual. Great. I wish they would show your amount over here, but nope. Great. So that's the full paycheck transferred over. You see the buying power went up, margin total went up, margin used went down because of it. And yeah, let's just get that fully invested before we pay bills. So 10% in growth today. So there's a couple things that I have in mind. So DRAM, I freshly put in last week, and that has had like a crazy run up when there was kind of news of again last week of the potential peace talks or peace plan. This went up like 15% in a day, which is crazy. But I'm sure, yeah, again, the RAM and memory speed is very real. I think that's going to last for the next couple of years. So this could potentially just kind of keep going. So could potentially doing that again, or is still in a dip here. If we pop over to Snowball, if we check like the last 10-day simple moving averages, or is in the red here on the growth side. It's the only one in the red. The red here as well. In the red, 200-day, it's doing okay. So, but yeah, in recent times, in the last 100 days, ore has definitely been lagging behind compared to the rest of the market as it's rallied, just because it's a lot more affected by the Iran conflict, given the Strait of Hormuz, and Japan gets a lot of its gas there. They have a lot of Japanese investments. But I think I'll just kind of keep putting into DRAM today, though. Pretty heavy into ore already. And then I've been buying the dip for the last few weeks. So yeah, I think the memory stuff is still going to keep playing out. And yeah, we'll just add a little bit more there. So if we do the 2386.02 times 10%, so that's $238. So let's get that invested into DRAM. And great. Bought. And so if we take 2386.02 minus 238, so there's 2148.02 left to invest for the high yield stuff. So originally I was kind of debating between two things today. So when I look at like the chart of what's gone down, I've been doing heavy into BTCI the last few weeks, and I don't want to quite do that again this week. Though potentially there's another option there. LPI was down this week on the peace talk news, right? Because that if the peace talk goes through, gas prices would go down, so MLPI was getting hit. KGLD was getting hit as well, just from the potential peace plan. So I was kind of debating maybe half in BLOX, half in KGLD actually. So not quite BTCI, but want to kind of diversify in the crypto space. But yeah, and today with the market flipping green, both KGLD still slightly in the red for me since I invested. It's fresh investment, right? Since I swapped over IAUY. So if we check there, yeah, just slightly in the red there. And also debating BLOX. This is just slightly in the green. So actually kind of outpacing BTCI. And I think BLOX is because really it has crypto and also crypto related companies. So NVIDIA or Hood. So if those are green, that kind of carries it a bit higher. But honestly, I think I might be doing BLOX. I've been, as I mentioned in the video the other week, I've been kind of keeping an eye on this. I do like that it's kind of diversified as far as kind of crypto goes. It's not just holding crypto, it's holding crypto related companies. So NVIDIA's in there, Robinhood's in there, Taiwan Semiconductor. And then it also is holding spot Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that. So it's just nice and diversified and not just fully crypto. And it is nice that their first objective is actually capital appreciation and income is secondary, but it is still paying like a nice 36% annual dividend that's paid weekly. So yeah, honestly, I think I'm going to do BLOX. Finding kind of dip my toes further into the X fund side of things, and yeah, just kind of get a little bit more diversification there. As I've mentioned, I like to try to keep my crypto across all my portfolios. So it's right now it's at 3.48%, and that's across my taxable. I have some in my Roth as well. So yeah, I want to keep this at 5%. So I'm going to add like 2,000. It's not going to quite move this too much, but I have some room to still increase my investment in crypto there. And even on this portfolio, on this side of things, it's still 3% too as well. So let's do BLOX actually. I'm just going to do the full amount there. So 2,148.02 and do that. So that'll be another weekly payer added to the list that if I get the dividends from that, I'll be reinvesting that into other safer yielders essentially. And yeah, let's do that. Great. So new position in the portfolio. I've been getting a lot of new ones lately. And that's a full paycheck invested. So you can kind of see the logic and how I think about stuff week to week. It really changes, honestly, for every week. Yeah, it's going to start dipping now. See, I bought and then now it's dipping. It's always like that, right? But yeah, and then now onto the bill paying phase of things. So if we pop over to my sheet and take a look, the last bill to be paid this week is the mortgage. So $2,998.31. And also one thing that's worth noting for this, there'll be a bit of a change to my mortgage going forward. I'm still debating what to do, but I actually put in the request to close my escrow account so that a mortgage company doesn't pull my property taxes and my insurance payments. I prefer to just kind of handle that myself as like a regular bill every few months, right? So my property taxes would be about $2,000 every 6 months, and then my insurance bill would be $1,400 for the year, which is coming up in July actually. But what's nice is that this is actually going to cut down my mortgage payment by roughly $442 every month. So if we do the math there, 2998.31 minus 442. That's going to drop my payment to $2,556 every month, which is great. So for cash flow, it's going to be great. I'm still kind of debating. Maybe I actually keep my mortgage payment similar. Like maybe I just even it out to like 3,000 or whatnot. And actually I just overpay with the property taxes and insurance being off, just to maybe just get the mortgage paid down a little bit quicker there and build equity faster. But I'm still debating. I might maybe also just kind of take the cash flow and just have that be in my brokerage instead, potentially. Still debating. I think that'll happen hopefully by next month. I think this might be my last month of this higher payment, but we'll see. You'll definitely know, given I'm transparent about everything. But yeah, so let's just get that transferred over to the cash account, and then I'm going to withdraw that after the video's done. So let's just do that. So 2998.31, just double check. Yes. So we want that from individual to the cash account. And yeah, the important thing to note here is that like, I'm not just kind of swapping the money funds, right? Like the key thing is that I'm investing it first. So I'm growing my assets and then I'm taking a loan against those assets and then taking margin out and paying bills, right? So I'm not just kind of like switching the money buckets there. The key part is that I'm investing it and I'm growing my gross balance, right? So yeah, we see that there. So this will get drawn in the next couple of days. And yeah, and that's the full bills paid. So let's just get my spreadsheet updated here. So we'll have BLOX and then DRAM. All right, so let's do that. So I'll add BLOX right after here. So I'm gonna have to add like a fresh row here. BLOX, zero that out, 1786. And also just a good way to see how I handle the sheet, right? For any of those that got it or that will purchase it in the near future. It's newly $5 now to get access to the same sheet that I use. You can access through my Gumroad. Great. And then we'll want to update the dividend as well too. So if we check its distributions here, so what I generally like doing is just taking the last 4 weeks. Normally I just kind of chat GPT this, honestly, just to make it a little bit quicker and not have to do it myself. plus 0.1171 plus 0.1073 and divided by 4, get the average there, and then times 52 to get the yearly. So 592.54. So let's just get that. And what's nice too at BLOX is that it's kind of been relatively consistent. It fluctuates for sure, but it's been in a pretty solid range overall, which is nice. I'll just do that so you can kind of see the current yield, yield on cost, and the estimate. So with this investment today, I'm going to be making roughly $60 a month, just under that. And then update with DRAM. This will have gone up a little bit, averaged up, and get the number of shares updated. Great, so that's fully updated. Then get my margin total and my margin used. So total is a bit different. And then margin used. This will actually go down tomorrow, essentially, just because my monthly rent income will deposit and I'll get that transferred over. And then also these last dividends are going to be paid out tomorrow. Tonight will be deposited as well. So that will kind of offset the margin balance there. So that will just deposit the cash, right? And get this number down, get this number up. And with that, let's kind of check. So with that, I'm sitting at, if you add all the assets up together, right, I'm sitting at 411.3K in the gross value of the portfolio. I'm using 182.8K of margin, and which gives me a net value of 228.4K. So pretty awesome to see how big this has grown. And I'll be doing a retrospective on this weekend too, of like the 1 year anniversary since I started doing this strategy. So it'll be great to kind of see how far the portfolio has come and take a look back on that together, right? As far as how that 411.3K split between growth and high yield income, there's 200.1K of that in growth, so 48% of the portfolio. And on the high yield income side, there's 211.3K or 51%. So that's what makes up that full amount there. And if we check in on the margin health after all that, the margin maintenance dollar value now is 102.8K. So my portfolio would have to drop to that amount before hitting a margin call. So that gives me a margin buffer of 125.7K. So roughly that's a 55% buffer on the net portfolio value. If you take this and divide by that, if you take it divided by the gross portfolio value, that's a 30.56% drop. So my portfolio would have to, my full value would have to drop that much to basically be the equivalent of a 55% drop on the net value. So that's an equity of 55.56%. So this is getting healthier and healthier, which is nice. And my buying power is sitting at 81.4K. So that you take your margin total, minus out your margin used, that's your buying power. If you take half that amount, that's roughly your cash available for withdrawal, so 40.7K. So this is cold hard cash I can withdraw if I needed to in an emergency, or I could also just invest that full 81.4K. You kind of have the choice there, right? But personally, I just kind of build this up just to kind of have a nice buffer, right? And kind of keep this nice and healthy given how much margin I'm using, right? And with that, we've just crossed the $5,000 mark in monthly dividends. So $5,027 that I'm estimating, right? So as a reminder, I do the trailing 3-month average for monthlies and then also the trailing 4-week average for weeklies. So my number comes up a little bit different than what you see in Snowball, right? So that's 1.16K a week or $165 a day. So if you take that yearly dividend or 60.3K a year and divide that by only what's invested into high yield income, so the 211.3K, that's actually a distribution yield of 28.55%, which is great. And then if you go off the full portfolio, it's actually 15.29% here. So yeah, that's where the numbers are sitting at after that full investment and the bills paid, right? Then over here, we can kind of update this. And yeah, all the bills are paid this month. Just looking forward to this next month. And yeah, that's all the numbers, really. Yeah, as far as the next video, you can look forward tomorrow, actually, on Saturday. I'm going to be doing a 1-year retrospective and yeah, just going over all the numbers. I'll update a new line here with the final May numbers. And we'll go over a year of running the strategy. So yeah, we'll go over all the numbers, the charts and graphs, how we went from where I started in May last year and where I ended up now. So yeah, it'll be an exciting one and great to kind of celebrate that with you all and really look back on how it's felt to run this strategy for a year. It was nerve-wracking at first doing it that first week. I remember distinctly, but it's been working nice and I've been happy with it. Through thick and thin, it's been working. But yeah, other than that, if you want to support the channel, as always, you can just check out any video and hop in the description below. You'll see all the links here. So you have my free Snowball portfolio I mentioned, the currently free Discord server. As I said, I'm still debating whether to keep this open anymore or not. I might just close the invites just because we're at a healthy amount now. And yeah, just want to help maybe reduce spammers and just kind of clamp down what's there. Free Blossom social profile. My now paid portfolio spreadsheet tracker. So the same sheet that you see me use, that's available for purchase. Just $5, so price of a coffee. And yeah, and then also the Patreon, which is free and paid. Free because you can kind of watch all the same videos for free, but also if you want to support the channel there, it's there. And same for their YouTube membership. So just $3 a month for the membership there. It's really the minimum that they let me charge. So yeah, that's it. If you appreciate all the transparency, definitely give a like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you want to be notified about future videos. And I'll catch you in the video tomorrow. Peace.